Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us and thank Hester for the very good introduction to what Repair Kopitiam is all about. Okay, Repair Kopitiam is actually from Sustainable Living Lab. Is our CSR, and we in Sustainable Living Lab, our main focus in business is actually dealing with disruptive technologies and how we apply it to solutions, for practical solutions for companies to meet their sustainable needs. So why is it important for you to belong to a community? Firstly, in a community, it creates and reinforces friendship and creating new ones. You also learn new skills and new knowledge, things that you might have fit in your bucket list, things that you want to learn before and had no time. It could be also grouping all the people in your neighborhood together, sharing the kampong spirit, and sharing resources that may be otherwise too expensive to own by yourself. And we also learn how to support and motivate each other and bring in new skills by self-improvement and also creating a meaningful life where you will help others. So looking at some of our events at a glance, you can see there's, of course, Repair Kopitiam Singapore. We also hold courses, DIY courses at our location in United World College. And some of the other events from the past like Tech Pals. And in the events for the future, we also deal with community-based learning for ROS, Robotics Operating System, and artificial intelligence in our everyday life. So who are we? Who is Repair Kopitiam Singapore? We are actually a repair community. The only difference is that in this repair community, we try to bring back the culture of learning and the culture of learning how to repair things that has broken down. And how do we do this? We create a platform by which the neighbors who know how to repair will bring the neighbors, we'll bring those neighbors that need to learn how to repair, and we marry them together in the same platform, getting them to talk to each other, teach each other, and also share sustainable skills with each other. So maybe something I missed from the start, I would like you all to throw questions to us anytime. You can type into the questions, your questions in the question, and then we will try to answer them at the end of the presentation. During the National Day Rally in 2019, we were mentioned as a national movement for repair. Okay, and we were mentioned how we introduce the repair culture back into the residents of the heartlands. The Repair Kopitiam event usually hold at the end of the month on the very last Sunday, and we only shift it if there's a holiday, right? So you can watch this, you can see this later. We'll put up a QR code. You can actually go into our website to see when we hold these events. So what we do is we get people together, whether it's a volunteer or a participant, is here to learn how to repair. How do you repair things that you own, things that you would have sentimental value for? So saving your beloved item is our key point of doing this. Most of this, when we repair, we can extend its useful life for longer. The result of this is not only looking for somebody to repair your item may be quite difficult, it also saves money when you don't have to replace these items. This celebration of success, you're also telling your friends what you have done over the weekend or a skill that you have learned. And this will help get more people interested and they will come forward and try to learn this. So I think from here, we are going to watch a little video about our repair. Okay, so sorry, at the same time, we also reduce waste. Sorry, after this, we will watch the video.
My name is Andy.
King Ming, Calvin.
I've been with Repair Kopitiam since 2015. November 2015.
2015. Currently a degree student in LaSalle.
I have been interning at Tata Consultancy Services.
I work at Singapore Power as an Internet of Things engineer.
So I'm Farah. I am the co-founder of Repair Kopitiam. We founded Repair Kopitiam in 2014 and it's been running ever since. So my background background is in industrial design. I studied industrial design in NUS, and I was quite upset with the fact that things were designed to fail, to drive more consumption. That truly upset me. So I felt that there must be space for repair.
Okay, I came here to repair, get service on my two products. One is my fan and the other one is my speaker.
I came here out of curiosity about this RK.
I brought this a massage machine here. So what happened was the power point actually wasn't contacted properly.
I mean, it's still very nice that they trust us enough, and that we can actually help the residents.
They will feel that they have achieved something which they can do. It's achievable, and also maybe simple.
So I saw the solder as a basically dry joint, so I just re-solder the thing and become a clean joint.
I was very pleased and surprised to learn that I actually learned a lot over here. What gaps do I still lack in? And I used the opportunity to fill out my gap.
What I learned here is linked with what I learned outside and also my school.
I love meeting the people in Repair Kopitiam. I love the volunteers around me, the other repair coaches. I learn so much from them and they learn so much from me as well. So it's a place where it's safe for us to learn new things, safe for us to share our knowledge, and also at the same time give back to the community by sharing our knowledge to the public.
We used to have one training center at UWC, so everybody got to go to UWC to do training.
We were actually in our aprons like this, and we were out in Jurong Market giving out flyers.
On Sundays, we would have to set up, we had to prepare, do all the logistics. It was part of the job, but it was also something that I absolutely loved doing.
We started off with only one Repair Kopitiam in Singapore, which is in Jurong West, and then we go into two, the Tampines, and now I'm grateful that it has blossomed into a third one.
We have this whole skill pool of professionals who's willing to help.
The people here are wonderful. They are friendly and they are service-ill.
Which in fact we should actually have more locations rather than just simply located to these three locations.
I think the greatest vision of RK, and not just for myself but everyone, is that hopefully in future RK is not needed anymore. It becomes part and parcel of everybody's mentality that repair is something that you should do. You don't need someone to teach you or someone to force it down on you, right? So it should be part of your daily life.
Welcome back. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you got an idea of how it looks like attending one of our events. There's a QR code here that I'm going to show you, and you can join this event by booking a time slot at every start of every month. Okay, in fact, yesterday was the opening for the next month. Right, so we hope you all can join us. So as a volunteer, if you want to join us as a volunteer, you will be put through a quarter as in a time period to learn how to do basic repairs. In this repair coach training, we will teach you how to become a coach. How do you teach people how to repair? That will be covered inside this 7 days, and then there'll be 3 events that will run with our veteran coaches. At the end of the day, we're going to help build compound spirit and also get all your neighbors together and help them. By doing this, you will also meet new friends, you will create new bonds with coaches, and that will help you pick up more repair skills. Gather together, young and old, and this helps in the intergenerational cohesion, and they help to pass down information. For example, for those people who are learning, they will learn from the elderly. We are going to show you a little video right now to get an idea of what happens as a coach in Repair Kopitiam.
Fans, irons, toasters. Over the past 3 to 4 years, we fixed easily more than 60 fans. Hi, I'm Andy. I was among the pioneer batch that volunteered myself. I love to fix things.
My name is Meili. I bought my hot plate here to repair.
我是吴秀珍，我的真车带过来修理。
We're actually here to help combat buy and throw away culture. When the opportunity was given for me to share some of my knowledge to some of the younger coaches, I willingly take up the challenge. Repair Kopitiam started in 2014. So over the years, we have at least about 200 to 300 volunteers. Kelvin, expert in electrical appliance repair, as well as Erica, who's also doing part of the electrical appliance, and Muhammad, the expert here in fabric repair. No two items are designed the same, so especially when some manufacturers, they like to hide their screws, so you can't even find the screws to open up the appliance. These are very common in things like iron. So to open up iron to diagnose the problem, sometimes it will take us a while to find where the missing screw is. For the past few years, we have one uncle by the name of Mr. Cham, stays around here. Sometimes he just come by without bringing any appliance to repair. And sometimes when he overheard that we are shortage on certain tools like screwdrivers, even multimeters, which cost quite a fair bit of money, the next session he will bring one or two of these tools to actually donate to us. So very nice of him. My wife was asking me, what am I doing, you know? But after all these years, she realized that there's nothing to ask anymore because I'm here every Sunday. What I love most about Repair Kopitiam, the moment you see the thing is working again, you can see the smile on their face, yeah, the joy that they get from them, the residents, as well as from the coaches. Maybe I was about 7 years old. I saw a radio that is lying at home, not working. I went to search for my dad's screwdriver and eventually opened up the circuit board inside. And voila, it just started to play again.
Back to our topic about volunteering with us. As you can see in the video, this Andy Lee has been with us since day one. He's still with us to join Repair Kopitiam in Jurong. This platform also allows you to share knowledge because nobody can be doing repair of everything. It's not possible. It's so many things that can be repaired. So this sharing of knowledge helps you to grow together. Right? Same time, this active continuous learning, in the picture you can see this lady, she's a seamstress. She has with us since 2019. She is 81 years old this year. Next year will be 82. This is one of lifelong dreams for her to keep on learning. And I ever asked her this question. I said, why do you keep doing this? She said, I'm afraid of dementia. So it's 老人痴呆症 in Mandarin, right? So she tells me that she speaks English, she speaks a few dialects. And let's watch a little video about her, about how she go about her daily life.
我朋友跟人讲，假如爆炸了，我说不要紧，你看到我没有来哈，就是爆炸了。Hello， welcome。我看到那些东西啊，丢掉，到底是什么？为什么会丢坏了？好像人生病，你要去给医生看看，你会为什么生病哦？到时那个医生有没有办法医你？就是这样一样。我在想。有些放在门口，那么等有空我就去。那个高楼屋呢，去拆好的，他拿去，坏的丢满地。你修理才知道还可以保存它吗？你不修理，你不懂它，可以留住这件。他们讲哦。你有没有陪人家赚到什么钱？说没，我也没钱人家赚。这是 Hardy and Frank 风扇 这个是它的风从这边吹出来哦。我喜欢学的东西，并不是说一定要做什么，就是你看到那根东西你就学了不会，那么你就看有办法学会。我会去这个店好像这个东西从哪里来，从店那边我就去问他了。我不要带去他不要叫我就问他，假如这样的情形里面，他就跟我讲你回去把这条换去那边看怎么样。多数他们会教你的，所以我就从那边这样这边学一点，那边学一点，在那边少着的。有些那些东西，你去叫人家帮忙，你可能人家看你老人家帮你但是你不要每次去吵人家。找不到，他的针放在这边这边是他针有。看过了，请不要假装对人不睬。这个东西现在我就是可以环保的就环保，可以做的就做。
And that was Madam Tham. So if you happen to residing in Ang Mo Kio, Teck Ghee is one of our Repair Kopitiam locations, and you can see her at Teck Ghee or around 11 a.m. every morning. You can see her riding her e-bike going for a swim. Okay, I'm going to share how you can volunteer with Repair Kopitiam. This is the QR code. Don't worry if you don't catch this QR code. During my question and answer, we will be flashing all the QR codes again so that you can catch them. Moving on, I'm going to introduce you another part of our series. We have the handyman series catered for those who are still working, those who do not have time to volunteer with us but still wants to learn some skills other than skills that we do for Repair Kopitiam, which is usually things that are portable, things like appliances, things like jeans and all these small furniture, chairs is actually done in Repair Kopitiam. But when you want to talk about plumbing, changing a doorknob, how you're going to change your lighting system at home to LED, this is where the Handyman series comes in. So Handyman series is actually promoted by NSA. So to keep things cheaper for you all to learn, actually NSA sponsors a large part of these events, these lessons for DIY. So in this DIY skills, we cover things that pair around your home. And also the latest skills that we are going to show is how do you communicate with people. You're trying to tell somebody what's wrong with it. So it's not easy to do that over internet. So we also teach you that digital literacy skills, also digital maker. So this is covered there. And then we'll take a look at the video about our DIY series right now.
Learn some skill, try to refresh myself. At home, when there are things that needs to be repaired, I can do hands-on myself. I don't have to spend return prices, just engage contractors.
Reduce wastage and do more cycling and repair.
With plastic gathering and the bio-waste increasing, I think personally it's really important that we start being more hands-on with our appliances and we start looking at the culture of reusing, rebuilding. It's a lot less intimidating dealing with appliances.
Sure, it was quite experiential learning at the right tools, and also I must be willing to do it.
Yes, don't be scared, just do it.
It's a good investment, so you do not need to waste money to employ people outside.
这里学到的很多东西是我在家里所需要到的，好像水龙头啦、热的东西啦，很多很多，自己学自己做，不用去浪费钱啦，因为外面 charge 很贵，不会说还了很多钱，但是你学到东西，你又不需要说是不是都叫外面叫人家来做，太贵了，太贵了，很贵很贵。
Great to meet a crowd of people that are on a similar boat, but all keen to learn.
Good couple bonding time. 很好，学得到很多东西。
Most likely I'll be seeing them again. Definitely. Yeah, I think it's very useful.
So the handyman course is that we deal with within a day, 7 hours of training. And these courses cover a wide range of things that you do at home, teach you how to use adhesives, and soon there'll be sewing, there'll be upholstery, etc. Right? So these are some of the courses that you can see. Now, don't worry if you can't see it here. We have a QR code, and this QR code will lead you to the whole list of courses, including the new ones made available very, very soon. These courses run throughout the year, whenever we can do it, right? In fact, today we are actually having one of the courses run right now. After this, we're going to show you who can really pick up these DIY repair skills. One of my colleagues, he was with us on a contract for half a year, and he has picked up some skills. He's going to share with you things that he has picked up just being my colleague for 5 months. Imagine what you can do when people volunteer with us for years. So let's take a look at this video.
Hi everyone, I'm Zach from Repair Kopitiam Singapore, and today we're going to be talking about some simple appliances or things around our house or even our void decks that we can repair. Here I have a fan that I picked up just at my void deck. You can see that it has a few battle scars, but it has a wire and everything, and I think that's kind of perfect already. Yeah, let's see if there's anything wrong with it first. So when I turn it on, it makes this strange humming noise, and this is usually a sign that the capacitor is broken. So if I turn it off and I unplug it, we can start with the repair. So first off, we need to start dismantling the fan with our tools. There's a giant screw at the back of the fan, and I think that's probably our entry point. Yep. So once we take out the casing, yep, now we see the insides of the fan. So this black box here is actually a capacitor, and it provides a surge of power to the motor to allow the fan to spin. Okay. So now I'm going to replace this capacitor, this faulty capacitor, with a new capacitor of the same value, 1.5 microfarads. Here I have my wire stripper, and I'm just going to go in and cut the wires. Should try to give a good length so that it'll be easier to connect later. So we need to strip the wires as well. And sometimes it's a bit hard to do it on the fan itself. I'm going to try to find the right size to strip the wire from. Yep, there we go. Okay, now that the wire is exposed, can remove the old capacitor. We can test using the new capacitor first. So I'll strip the new capacitor as well. There we go. So actually on a capacitor, generally doesn't really matter which way it goes. So you might see a red and black wire on the fan, or maybe a red and red wire on the capacitor. We can just connect them first, see if it works. See, I got my connectors, and I'm just going to put them onto Now we are going to try to turn on the fan and see if that repair worked. Yep, now we see the fan is working again. In fact, it's blowing a lot of air and it's quite strong. Yep. So now that we know now that the fan is actually working, we can take off the old capacitor and just replace the casing. So how come the capacitor affects the fan so much that it stops it from being able to turn? Actually, here we have a demo, and I'm just going to explain really quickly how the capacitor functions in a fan. So inside the fan, there's a starting coil inside the motor of the fan. And this starting coil doesn't work without the capacitor. So if your capacitor is gone or it's just damaged, the fan won't be able to start at all. So here, I'll show you. When I turn on the fan, nothing happens. So we have to function as a starting coil in this case. Just spin the fan. And once that happens, the fan just functions as normal. Unfortunately, this is not a very ideal solution because most of us just want to press a button and have our fans work. So instead, all we're going to do is we're going to use the good capacitor. We're going to replace the capacitor, and it's going to start functioning again with just a push of the button. And just like that, magic. It really is just that simple, and most of our fans, most of the old fans experience this problem because of wear and tear on the capacitor. And yeah, it really is something that we are able to save and not throw away our fans. Yeah. So now that the fan is open, this is actually, and also working, this is actually the best time to start cleaning it up a bit. It's not like we're gonna be opening the fan again anytime soon. So yeah. Usually I just use a brush and a paper towel just to get out the dust. And while I'm cleaning, yeah, I would really encourage you guys to just think about what items that are in your house that can also be repaired like this fan. Actually, most products right now can be repaired, and we just need to find the issue and then diagnose it, and usually they are quite simple problems that can be resolved quite easily. I hope that during this time we can just come to think about repair as an alternative to throwing away. You see this fan, it took me maybe like 5 minutes to fix it, and instead of going out to buy a new fan, which probably will take a lot longer. So here we have the final product. After all our repairs and our cleaning, we finally have a working fan that functions completely normally. It's pretty cooling too. So I think so many of these perfectly fine appliances have been thrown away recently, about 60,000 tons of them. And really it is such a pity and a waste. And I hope that before we consider throwing away something next time, we can consider repair first, because it's such a viable option as we just saw. So now let's take a look at another item that I actually got from a friend. He was going to throw it away because the zippers weren't really working, but I thought that maybe I could give it a shot and see if it works. So now you see that the zipper here is kind of tight, doesn't really work, and it's opening out on both sides. So yeah, the zipper is not really working. So I'm just going to use this pencil and start coloring. Yep, it seals properly now, again. And if we do this for the rest of the bag, the zipper probably will work completely fine. And just like that, I'm done. And as you can see, the zip is working again. It's quite, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think this bag probably will last maybe a few more years. And we just saved it from the dumpster again, from the landfill. I think there's so many things that we can really look into repairing. And I would encourage you to try to see what else in your house could be repaired. Maybe you save a lot of money. Maybe you'll find a new passion in repair. And I think there's just many positives to this culture of repair. Thank you.
And so that was Zach, my ex-colleague, which from time to time we still catch up because he still comes to events, right? And before we move on to other community learning, I'm going to wrap up for the repair part, right? So for those who want to join us, even as a participant, we will guide you. It may be your first time, okay? We want to make it easy. And all our coaches are actually trained to train you, to guide you how to do repair, right, of things that you love. Second, our training sessions are on Sundays, and they vary from 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on whether it's online or it's on-site. Face-to-face will be usually longer, right? So I hope that you guys will join us. Later, we will flash these QR codes again. Now, I want to talk about other community learning, things that may come up again, and things that in the future we might build communities. So at the end of it, you will get a QR code as well to join us. We will show you and we will call you if these things pop up, right? Okay, so other communities, learning communities that we have. So I want to introduce you to TechPals. So TechPals we ran in 21.8 and 21.9. The idea of this digital maker program is actually for you to get in. We teach you a bunch of skills like maker skills. We teach you things like whether it's coding or it's IoT. We teach you all these skills. And later we will send you to understand what are the challenges of other, you can say, sideline communities. For example, in 21.8, we actually deal with those communities like dementia, autism, and also kids that are going through therapy because they got into accidents and they're in recovery. How we do this is that after we teach them all these skills, we put them all together, people from all walks of life. They form teams. They attend those talks helped by all these autism institutions and all this. They try to understand their problem and how to solve them, and they will come up with ideas using the technology. So we're going to take a look at a video now. What has happened in 21.9 where we held our last TechPals.
So when you look at tech, what's important is that it's not about tech itself. At the end of the day is the purpose in terms of what tech, the capabilities and what tech can do in terms of driving new capabilities to support the various objectives we want.
I decided to participate in TechPals because it was a great opportunity to be able to channel technology for a purpose and to be able to examine this group of individuals within our society that need more care.
So the concept of the whole equipment is about a simple game matching. It's actually a two cards matching system whereby you find a card that is associated to another card.
I find this course quite interesting. Concept of my projects come from interviewing the seniors. So from there, then I think of maybe we can entice them with some audio and visual.
Our project is based on a beanbag where they throw in the holes, then they will light up the LED screen with a love sign.
Yeah, so I think with the TechPals projects, so it kind of like provide an external motivation to keep them focused on their therapy and also entertain at the same time.
The favorite part is, of course, all the other participants when we group together and discuss of various ideas.
I really enjoyed watching the elderly patients try out the games and be able to get a certain satisfaction from reaching a target.
If there's another TechPals course, I will definitely join.
I'm going to show you a couple of things that came out of this. Remember this, we only teach you the basic skills like coding, IoT, but all these ideas are formed, ideas that comes from you when you join us, right? When you create empathy of the problem, you will create a solution for that problem. And this helps community to understand the challenges having to take care of people with dementia, and this will help them. So like this football therapy is actually for kids who are going through recuperation because they broke their leg, they need to build their strength back. Things like visually impaired kids, they will learn their Braille numbers by pressing the one on the right, by pressing the number and recognizing the number, the device will actually speak the number back. So these are useful things that you can see. And of this whole community project, people empathize with others' problems more, better, understanding them. They know what to do. And they also learn new skills and how to apply them and creating practical, useful solutions. Some of these solutions are actually found in dementia homes, and some of these autistic children, they are still using them in this gathering. So some of the other future programs that may be coming, including ROS community. ROS, we have this robot. It's an expensive robot arm that we have in our lab. And we are trying to build a community when time allows us to have a group of people who will experiment with this robot arm. This robot arm runs, and a few other things runs on a system called ROS, which is called Robot Operating System, which is a relatively new language. And we are hoping that we can bring a community together to learn from each other. So this that you're looking at, it's fast, so fast that actually it can play table tennis with itself. Right? So this is one of the things that we want people to realize, things that can be done, can program this. You're not too old to learn this. The next one is AI. AI has been with us for a long time, whether you use your Google Map or whether you buy something from an online store. These are actions that you do that are picked up by the system, the platform, and they realize they start pushing you because you like to buy ice cream, so they keep pushing ice cream advertisement to you. All these are artificial intelligence. There's nobody at the back that is watching you, don't worry. It's only the machine. Right, so I think this comes to the end for the other communities. So to register interest for any of these things in the future when we run them, we will contact you if you're interested. You can use this QR code. So I'm going to just pause here for a moment for you all to take down the QR code. All right, so I'm going to move forward to the next slide. Question at the end of this is, why are we talking about this active aging? The idea is very simple. We all want to live a quality life. This is what we want to happen to, you can say, the silver part of our life. And it's all about health span and not lifespan. I hope you understand this. It means that you can grow very, very old, but then if you spend most of your elderly life unable to do things or even forgetting who you are, I think that's not a good life anymore. So it's all about how much life you have in your time and not so much how much time you have in your life. So we encourage you to come and join us. Join any activity, even if it's not us. You can live your life more meaningfully. You can have great mental and physical health. And by doing things that you love that you otherwise could not have done it because of work or commitment, or maybe you're not even in Singapore. You just returned from your work from overseas, right? And you can discover new experiences and sharing your time and knowledge with the next generation. These are all things that is worthwhile pursuing. I hope that this has been a good talk with you guys. And now I would like to address some of the questions. You can keep the questions coming. I've put up the QR code for you guys to scan. I will take some of your questions right now, and I'll start with the first few. I think there's a question that came in. Any of other courses besides Tampines location? Assume you're referring to our DIY courses. So if you're asking about the DIY courses, in the near future, we will be expanding to Bukit Merah area, which is quite central, and in the Serangoon area, Lorong Asu. So watch out next year. I think we will start these locations in April. I think Lorong Asu, we already started a couple of lessons there. But unfortunately, I think they are already full. So you have to wait for next season, which is April till September. Okay, I assume you're talking about Repair Kopitiam. Firstly, in Repair Kopitiam, we teach you how to repair stuff. Basically, a very good guideline for things that you want to repair, because you are going to be the one doing the repair. So I will suggest that you start with something simpler, electrical items like kettles, irons, blenders, fans, etc. Right? Electronic stuff is a bit more challenging, and things that are proprietary. These items are built like, for example, a vacuum cleaner. Usually the parts inside a vacuum cleaner, other than the motor and the circuit board stuff, right? They are proprietary, meaning that it only exists in this particular brand or model. Right? So these parts are more challenging to get, right? Because they won't share with you. So I would say that it's better to start with something simple like a radio, for example. Where can we find spare parts? Okay, this is a very, very good question. Most of the time, you will find it quite challenging to look for spare parts. Right? Spare parts can be found at places like, for example, Sim is one of the locations that you can go to. Other than that, the largest spare part location where you can find almost anything, would be you have to hunt it online. Okay, so most of the online, you can say e-commerce, they do provide numbers. So you need to read it off the spare part and you see whether you can buy it. Are you a non-profit organization? The answer is no. As from the start, I did mention to you, we are actually a CSR for Sustainable Living Lab. So we do this as a non-profit. So most of the people who those volunteers that are with us, including us, although we're working for Sustainable Living Lab, we are volunteers actually. We are not it's not like you join Sustainable Living Lab and then you have to be in Repair Kopitiam. It's not like that. So this is our passion as well. Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys again. Please scan the QR code. You can, under the repairkopitiam.sg, if you go in there, there's a FAQ. It will answer a lot of other questions as well. There's no limit. The lady who is our volunteer, she joined us at the age of 79. So in fact, 55, you're very young. So you should be joining us. You should be in our team. There's no age limit. The youngest person to join us, and he is still with us, is a boy. He joined us when he was 14. And he is still with us this year. He's 18. And he's actually a PR in Singapore. Okay, so this is a very interesting question. How about starting new Repair Kopitiam in Bukit Batok? I think if you go to repairkopitiam.sg, there is one part where you say, okay, start your own Repair Kopitiam. Right, that's the part. So you can contact us doing that. It's not so simple. We need a space. We need organizing committee to start a location. Well, we don't charge. Yeah, spare parts that are common, also give it to you free. It's only those proprietary parts, like for example, maybe you have something that is electronic inside your fan. You might have to buy the electronic to replace. If not, now we might do something to the fan so that it still works. So these appliances, sometimes they build some electronics inside, like for example, your fan can actually control the amount of hours that it runs, or you want to start the fan at 1 a.m., for example, and let it fan till 6 a.m. and it will switch off by itself. So those type of electronics, you probably have to hunt them down and purchase them. We do not teach laptop repair. Somebody asked me during the DIY workshop, please scan the QR code. In the QR code, you can see that under the handyman course, there's a list of courses done right now. Okay, the reason is repair of laptop is not exactly a basic repair. It's something that you to have certain amount of basic repair knowledge and can say experience over some years before you start going to electronics. Right, so we don't cover that because our purpose for DIY courses is to teach basic repair to residents. Wow, this is a very general question. So the question asks, would you be able to share your repair experience and how it benefits you? Well, I think repair-wise, I would say that today I can repair quite a few things. Of course, we don't teach certain kinds of repair. I've been in repair for about 35 years. And trust me, when I first joined, I think it was 2017, when I first joined Repair Kopitiam. And when I joined the company in 2019, So the first thing that I opened was a fan. And I've been repairing big stuff like cranes, even PLC controls. And I tell you, I was stunned by what's going on inside a fan. So you think it's a simple item, right? But the electronics are different. The way it's being organized, the way it's being used is very, very different. So I would say I learned a lot, actually. Today, I can fix even microwave ovens, induction cookers, and all these. I'm still being challenged by electronics. How do you identify that why certain things are not working? For example, triac, or whether the rectifier has failed. What about the IGBT? All these are electronic components that I'm still struggling with. This is my learning journey. I'm getting better at it, and I hope to get even better next. Coaching course, I think when you scan QR code for the handyman course, I think it's coming up soon. That QR code will lead you to a whole list of courses, and the price, this is the QR code for the course. So you can actually see the prices in there because there's various prices depending on the course that you sign up for. Right? So some courses like digital manufacturing, that will be a more expensive course because of the nature of the course. The purpose of the AI team, basically, we are still exploring actual groundwork. We also want to see things like, there's quite a few fields of AI, if you know. How do you use AI, exploring AI together? How does it work? You also have things like, for example, the ethics behind AI. When do you use AI? What can you do with AI? So, and how do you apply AI to everyday life will be one of the things, I would say application-based AI is one of the things that we may explore. And the last thing that we definitely will explore is how do we teach AI? We are currently one of the lead international AI community programs because we do it with a company. And this AI, we are trying to teach AI to as young as possible. You're not going to be going to school to do AI at the moment, although some countries, they are starting to bring AI into their curriculum. So we are doing this on the side, and we hope to enable younger generation to pick up AI way before they do it informally, so that they don't go in zero. So that's what we are trying to do. So in the AI team, we are also thinking whether we can formulate things like how do you teach AI to a layman, or how do you teach AI to somebody who does not have complex thinking yet? So these are methods that have not been explored thoroughly. Okay, so if you join us, you realize that we will teach you certain skills, like for example, how do you determine if this item can be repairable? Because some of these items, when they fail, the major part of the item is already beyond repair, and that is almost the cost of the whole item, right? So these are times where you actually can stop the repair because it doesn't make sense or it's not possible to repair. However, like in Repair Kopitiam, I say this many times. As far as fans concerned, you can always find a fan thrown away. It's one of the very common appliances, and it's one of the most misunderstood appliances. Most of the fans we are able to repair. We are very close to 100% repair for fans. Right? So most of the time, if the motor is down, we can even replace the motor nowadays. Right? So this is what you can buy online. All right? Yeah. Could we use SkillsFuture funds? Okay, this is a bit of a financial thing already. Okay, yes. The answer is yes. Even for NSA, it will be part sponsored by NSA. The remaining part can be paid by SkillsFuture. Okay, I think we are on the last question now. Other than repair, how else can we be more sustainable? All right, so this question could take the whole day to answer, actually. Yeah. So sustainability is a very wicked problem. It's why I say it's a wicked problem is because whatever we do, somewhere there will be something that will be affected. So maybe I put it this way, right? To live sustainably, you got to make first sustainable choices. For example, Singapore is one of the few countries in the world where water is drinkable from a tap. And one of the things I stopped doing is buy mineral water. Right? I will bring my own water bottle out. I think this is the first thing. Answer is refuse, not refuse. And this is one of the things they consider. And there's a myriad of things that could happen. So repair is one of the things that I say I can do better at. If everything can be repaired, then of course factories will start to close down, right? So that creates another problem. But baby steps, we need to figure out what are the things that should stay, what are the things that should go. I think these are things in sustainability. We want to know what are our choices. And sustainability begins with circular design. And circular design means that we need to consider the materials that we use. We need to consider the design that we do, whether it's repairable, whether it is upgradable. So we hope to see in the future that this will be one of the items that manufacturers will take note of. And we also, on our end, we can choose sustainably by considering like buying better things, betterly constructed things, or even buying a laptop of higher specs so that it lasts longer, etc. So there are many ways to live sustainably, and this is only my take on it, my small little frame of this, right? So yeah, I think that's the end of the last question. I think that's the last question. So well, I thank you all for sharing your time with me this afternoon. I'm very happy to be here. And I hope that you all can scan in and register your interest to join us. And we will try and accommodate as many people as possible. Right, so thank you for joining us today again. And I think that will be all for today. Thank you very much.